Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day?
Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 20th, 2025, and there are 19 days left in my trade thesis that Bitcoin is going to recover to about 105, 106K, and in that time period, altcoins are going to move an average of 285 to 290%. Not all altcoins, but most altcoins, okay? Some may move a lot more, others a little less. So, day 19, what are we seeing on the charts? Let's look into that. If that all interests you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get started with Bitcoin as per usual. Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. We are still at this bottom, okay? Right now, Bitcoin's hovering around mid 86,000, okay? But this right here is still my orthodox low. This low that we made on Monday, the 17th, is still my orthodox low. As I see it, as it stands, we are doing a bit of a mini consolidation before starting to reverse course. Remember, you never just move without first consolidating. Anytime you reverse course from one trend and you want to make a counter trend, you have to put in the requisite consolidative pattern, okay? Like, and to change course from a downtrend to an uptrend, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a counter correction that's a small version of what you did down. It doesn't matter. You need to put in you need to put in an accumulation, right? So down to up, you need an accumulation. So for me, what we've been experiencing since Monday looks ugly, and it looks like it's part and parcel of the continuing downtrend. But right now, mathematically, it's still valid as an accumulation, even though it's slumped down and to the right, right? And I still take this right here, this Monday low, as my orthodox low. So when I'm measuring like what wave 2 is going to do, how wave 2 is going to look, how long we went down with this initial impulse, I'm using Monday's low as my orthodox low, my measured low. Okay, I'm not going to go into all of the details as to why that is, but that's pretty much what I'm seeing on the charts. So I'm seeing us chopping and then finally doing the move to 105, 106. But essentially, just like I said, you're going to get a flavor of 3 counter correction. Remember, Bitcoin is 2 things: extremely weak, so you shouldn't be surprised that even in its consolidative counter correction, or in the consolidation prior to the counter correction, it is in counter correction, but even in consolidation, it's slumping down into the right because it's extremely weak. It's under an immense amount of selling pressure, and it has been for a year plus, okay? That shouldn't surprise anyone. But again, the second thing you should remind yourselves is that nothing goes in a straight line. So it's not if we're going to get a counter correction, it's when and how. Nothing goes in a straight line. You should not expect the impulse to just keep going. At some point in time, every single last impulse counter corrects, does intra-wave correction. Okay, now the thesis on the higher time frame was, during the time that Bitcoin gives that intra-wave correction, wave 2, we should experience that altcoin surge. And there are lots of very encouraging bits of data that suggest or that support that thesis that we're going to get into in a second. So it's 19 days. Why? Again, just to reiterate really quickly, if this was a legitimate wave one, a pure Elliott wave impulse, then we have the luxury of being able to time this wave one and superimpose the same amount of time on wave two. So we should more or less get a 21-day wave two, and we are on the third day. So that is 19 days left. Second day, third day, whatever. I don't know. It's 19 days left because yesterday was 20 days left. Now it's 19 days left for our big move. And again, yes, Bitcoin's going to countercorrect. And yes, so what if it countercorrects to 105, 106? That's not really the exciting thing about my analysis. What's really exciting and why most of you are here is that in this counter correction, altcoins will fly. And they're already showing very strong evidence that this is likely to happen. Now, in my watch list, I don't have anything that's broken out yet. And I'm sure if I go on crypto bubbles, I can find a few like early movers, early breakouts. But what's extremely encouraging is when we go to this Bitcoin dominance chart, look, Bitcoin's been down all day pretty much, right? Look at Bitcoin dominance. Look at this. Bitcoin dominance has also been dumping. When Bitcoin dumps and Bitcoin dominance dumps, that means Bitcoin isn't dominant. In Bitcoin season, when Bitcoin goes down, things die. The rest of the cryptocurrency market goes way down. And you see a surge in Bitcoin dominance. In altcoin season, which it is officially, and it has officially been that since June, but we haven't really seen and felt altcoin season until now, the start of this trend breaking down. You're going to feel when Bitcoin goes down, altcoins don't go down more than Bitcoin, or they go down as much as Bitcoin, or maybe they don't go down at all. It's a new paradigm. Bitcoin goes up, altcoins fly. It's a new paradigm. That's alt season. Get used to it. This is what this data suggests, that it's alt season. This is a trend. I said this yesterday. We're not concerned with blips of data showing minor corrections of Bitcoin dominance moving down. No, what we're really excited about here is Bitcoin dominance trending down, and trends last quite a bit. Obviously, nothing goes in a straight line, so at some point you're going to experience counter trends. But what's important to understand and realize is that the trend continues until it reaches a very important high time frame level of support and bounces, okay, in the case of this Bitcoin dominance going down. So this trend should continue to the next logical level of support. That's exciting. That is still in play. And so the high time frame thesis, the overall thesis that yes, indeed, we're getting alt season. Yes, indeed, we're going to see, and we should see, and we should expect altcoins to dominate Bitcoin. And as soon as Bitcoin starts making its move up, we should get altcoins flying. That's all true. Again, it's not a hopium type analysis, like, oh man, it's been a while. I mean, we're due, right? Yeah, sure. But I'm looking at this chart, and this is the definitive answer to, are altcoins actually going to bounce? If you understand this chart, that's your answer. Okay? So, last but not least, and since I'm going to try and pump these out on a daily basis. I can't promise, but I'm gonna try to keep to regular updates in this countdown. This very important countdown. It's actually one of the most important periods of time in crypto that we've had in years, because it's been Bitcoin season for years, and even though alt season officially started in June, we don't feel it until now. And that changes so much when we start to feel it and see it in assets going green and making big moves to the upside. So I'm going to try and keep up with these updates on a daily basis. Can't promise, but I'll try. Here on the others chart, what do you see? You see that you've been, let's zoom in because you can't really see much here. What you can see with this others chart is that since the beginning of the month, you made a low. You went up and you came back down. You didn't make a lower low, but for about a week, you've been chopping. Okay? Chop is good. Chop is consolidation. Remember, in order to change trends from down to up, you need to put in an intermediate trend changing consolidation or an accumulation. That's what that is. That's very encouraging. And it shows that, on the whole, altcoins aren't just dying. They're not just going down and down and down and down, but they're chopping sideways and down, making falling wedges, which are extremely bullish. So you should expect that move. And I want to be more specific. Here's what you should expect on average. When we do get our bounce, expect an average move of about 33%. 33%. This means, of course, that certain altcoins are going to do a lot more. They're going to do 60, 70, 80%. Others may do 20, 25 or something like that. But that's the clear read here on this others chart. And remember, others is basically all the altcoins in the cryptocurrency space minus the top 10 in market cap. And I believe that this right now is the strongest of the indicators for the altcoin market. So the others chart is basically showing that once we do indeed break up and out, we're likely to target this level right here at 293 billion, which is 33% to the upside, because we've been under this resistance since about the 10th of October. Okay, and that resistance is important to be retested as support. So again, expect a 33% move. That's confirmation of that breakout. When you do see trends change, you look on your watch lists. Okay, let's look for a second. When you look on the watch list, right, and you see this red turn to green, what you should expect, the first thing you should expect is, on average, these altcoins up 33% from where they are right now. On average. Again, some are going to be more, some are going to be less. That's your confirmation that that move that I've been talking about, that 285, 90% move, is just getting started. That's the first bit of it. That's the first part of it. A 33% on average move up. Okay, that's what you should look out for. Guys, I hope this was helpful, useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Consider joining my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service, which I'm running a special for Black Friday. That is going to go until either the end of Black Friday or the group fills up, whichever comes first. And that deal, the details of that are in the pinned comment below. Essentially, I'm offering 6 months for a discounted rate of $997 instead of the original $1,500, because the crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation group is originally $250 per month. So that is a Black Friday special that I'm currently running. Details for how to take advantage of that, again, in the pinned comment below. If that's out of your price range, or you're looking for something a little different, less comprehensive, I have single asset analysis service, which is essentially just my take on any single asset in the cryptocurrency space, or in the stock market, or any commodity, any indicator, whatever it is. Make the payment, send me the ticker, and within 24 hours you should have that pre-recorded analysis in your inbox, and you can even follow up with a few questions. It seems to be popular. Economy's quite bad, and our market hasn't been moving much, so a lot of people taking advantage of that the price is 165, and you can get some targets out of that. So that's it for me. Take care. Bye.
Prevalent time slot, I vocalize too deep to localize. Even when I'm right on the surface, you act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later. Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind, here's where I begin. Should I smile or should I grin?